Yay! So, good afternoon, everybody. You may remember 3 weeks ago we were in these chairs and Deanne was interviewing me on the release of my novel, and now it's my turn to interview Deanne. Deanne has her novel, The Heretic Servant, coming out on the 12th of December, so 2 weeks from now. So now it's just an opportunity to find out about it. So come on then, tell us, what is it about, Deanne?
Thank you, first of all, for interviewing me. The Heretic Servant is about a maid called Molly in Tudor times, during the reign of Elizabeth I, and all she wants is a quiet life. Molly just wants to do her job, to live her life, to marry her beloved, and for things to go smoothly. But obviously that isn't going to happen, seeing as they are a Catholic family, and things get a bit out of hand. They get very much caught up in the events of the Reformation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how have we got to this point? Obviously, I knew you initially as an editor. So how have we come to this point where you're about to release your own novel?
Well, I have been writing for years. I've been writing since I was a teenager, scribbling away bits and pieces. Then I started taking it seriously, properly seriously, about 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And I've got better and better, I believe. And I've been helping other people to write their stories for 7 years since I left teaching. Mm-hmm. And I've decided now I just have to get my own first completed, fully edited novel out there. I've got other things sitting there in drawers, having not been completed. But, excuse me, but now I just have to stop being such a coward, quite frankly, and put my own book out there, as well as helping other people to write theirs.
And when was that decision then? When was day one, do you think?
Day one. I think 18 months ago, I decided, that's it. I'm doing this. This is not going to be another one that I'm still not quite happy with. I suffer with perfectionism, and that can't go on forever. You have to just do something sometimes, don't you? And so, yes, I think 18 months ago is when I decided mine is getting out there as well as everybody else's. So yes, I'd say been 18 months in the planning, really.
Cool. So this is in the reign of Elizabeth I. Mm-hmm. I love the Tudors. I'm a big fan of Henry VIII, his wives, the whole story around it. Is this something that's always interested you? What made you set the story in this time?
Yeah, I've always loved the Tudors as well. It's one of the most eventful periods in British history. There's so many ups and downs, so many vicissitudes, swings back and forth. During one reign, one group of people would be in danger, then it would be another group of people, and all these factions. I wouldn't have actually wanted to have lived during the time, I've got to say, but it is fascinating from a historical point of view. Probably, yes, late medieval and Tudor times are my absolute favourite periods of history.
So did the writing come hand in hand with a lot of new research, or was it stuff you already knew from your prior reading?
A lot of it I already knew. I've studied the Tudors in some depth during history A level for a start, and I've always read around it, for my own enjoyment. There were some things I had to research, particular dates, so that I didn't get things badly wrong. But more of the current research, the most recent research for the novel, is the details. Things like, what did they actually eat for breakfast? What sorts of things did they wear? What sorts of items did they have in their house? One thing, what I was writing about curtains at one point, and then I thought, do they have curtains? I had to go and check things like that. So it was the details that I really had to research.
So do we see much of Elizabeth I in the story, or is this just a novel about a family that were alive during her reign?
It's a novel about completely fictional people who were living, not living as the case may be, but fictional people around in her reign. There are lots of novels set in the court to do with historical people that we know quite a lot about. I love to read those books, but what I wanted to do was to write about ordinary people, the challenges they had, and how the big events that of the time would affect their lives, and how the shape of their lives, their narratives would depend on these big decisions being made that were completely out of their hands.
And were you surprised by what you found out?
You mean in terms of how their lives would have been
impacted? Yeah.
I think so. Yes, because there was so much control happening, even not deliberate control happening because of governmental decisions, even down to the details of how people's lives played out, became very much affected by these big decisions that weren't being made with individual people in mind at all, but they affect everybody. And it did make me think about today, actually. All our lives are affected by decisions being made centrally.
Absolutely.
So not that I want to get into current politics right now, certainly not.
So the book is out on the 12th of December. That's the official launch. What's the launch day going to look like for you?
The launch day is going to look like a lot of time spent at the laptop, I suspect. A lot of time telling people, sending people messages to tell them that, yes, it's out. I've told you I'd let you know. Now it is out. There will be live streams, I'm sure. I will be looking at what's happening in terms of sales, obviously. I will be showing a lot of excitement, and there will definitely be a couple of glasses of wine involved by the time the evening comes around.
Absolutely. You have had a couple of advanced reader copies sent out, haven't you? What have the reviews been that you've received back? What have they been like?
They've been good. They've been very good. They've been comments along the lines of on the edge of my seat, wanted to, I couldn't put it down. I could see how she might get out of this situation, but why is she not doing this? And then, oh, that's why she didn't do such and such a thing straight away. It was the perfect moment when something actually happened. And lots of people who very much enjoy historical fiction have enjoyed the way in which I have used the setting of the Elizabethan period, but have focused on ordinary people, or much more ordinary people than people of the court. So it's familiar territory for a lot of historical fiction fans, but from a different angle. So there's something a bit different there as well.
Absolutely. And is this going to be your last foray into this era, or do you think are there other books brewing in your head?
Oh, there are more. I'm working on book 2. at the moment. Haven't decided exactly what's going to happen just yet, but there are going to be plenty more dark dealings going on. I don't do light and fluffy, and I don't see why I would suddenly start writing light and fluffy fiction in book 2. There's going to be a darkness to it, just as there is in book 1.
Do you think it will be a continuation of book 1? Will it be the same characters, do you think?
There will be overlap with the characters that are in book 1, but the focus will be on a character who is only mentioned in book 1, but we never actually meet. It's going to be a different character's story.
Amazing. So where can we get this book on the 12th of December?
It will be available on Amazon. I will be putting the link everywhere. It'll be impossible for people to miss it, I think. It'll be available on Amazon in the first instance. For the first day, on the 12th, it will be available on Kindle for just 99p. So, and that's just for the first day. So a launch day offer. It'll also be available in paperback. And it'll be available in hardback from the day after launch day as well.
Amazing. So 2 weeks to push.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Yes. So, yes, very nearly there. It's all very exciting and I can't wait.
Brilliant. Thank you, Deanne. So The Heretic Servant, Deanne Adams, 12th of December, Amazon.
Wonderful.
Go get your copy. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.